Hello, this is Kristen, and you are in the good. And if you found your way here, I think I have a message for you. So, this is our weekly conversation around love and intimacy. So, let's see what wants to come. What's in our hearts? What do we know? What do we need validation on? What's hidden? What lies beneath the surface? What's lit up? What do we want to light up? What's the way forward? Okay. Calling back. Okay, has someone recently called you back? Or are you calling, have you been calling in someone to call you back or to connect with you and they have? Because this is like, for sure, a calling you back. This isn't because sometimes the energies come out, maybe this is you calling somebody back as well or reaching out to someone. But this feels like there's been a calling in, and there's been a calling in of someone by just being yourself, by just being at ease, by not worrying about whether they're calling you back or not. I mean, this could have been someone that you were together with for any period of time, whether it is a couple of dates or a couple of years. And of course, in any of these readings, if someone didn't treat you well and they're not for you anymore, then, clearly skip it. But if there's some juiciness, if there is some juice in that squeeze, if there's something to continue to be curious about and playful about, something that, when you think about it, there's a certain amount of pleasure or just intrigue, right? This is the calling back by working your own magic in your own life. It's not about lighting a candle and trying to get them to come back by working some kind of remember those, what they would call them, like those little jars, like you come across stuff on YouTube and it's always this is what's the name of those jars? Put it in the comments below. I know one of you knows the name of those jars. It's like the honey jar that you layer the honey and you write their name on the paper and you put your paper with the honey and the stuff and the rose petals and I think things like that can be interesting to do if they're done more openly. I just want to call in the vibration of love or the right person, or I'm putting my intention out there, as opposed to lighting 10,000 candles with somebody's name sort of engraved on it. This is not doing that. It's the magic of your own life that you're living. And regardless of what disappointment might have been or what you thought was going to happen that didn't happen or any of that stuff, it's really finding the beauty of being with yourself and, with family, friends, perhaps going out on other dates, discovering more about yourself and what you're looking for in partnership and, how much you enjoy being on your own and what you want to share and when you want to share it and finding that exact right fit. Calling back. But someone has called you back. Someone's calling you back. What are they calling you back for? I feel like getting another one of these. I just do. What are they calling you back for? What are they calling you back for? Healing. Well, that's great. I think there's, in what I was just saying about you working the magic of your own life, you paying attention to yourself, being okay with letting things go despite whatever feelings might have come up around you. And it feels like there's someone else that went through their own stuff, whatever that stuff was. Sometimes when certain events happen in our life as well, people kind of really see what is important to them or what they don't want to miss out on. And it's interesting because this in this healing card, this person is coming back, right? And they want to come back, you know, to understand the nature of who you are, who you can be, who the we of this is, who we can be. And you get to decide what you want to do. Just because somebody comes back and you wanted them to come back doesn't mean that you end up in a certain kind of relationship for a certain amount of time. It could literally be just a discovery. But someone definitely misses you. Somebody has thought of you more than you might have thought. Somebody wants to become intimate. And with the healing card, it feels like an emotional intimacy as well. This could have been someone that comes across like very sexual or very passionate, and you know, they love physical intimacy, and perhaps there might have been a confusion around, well, is this just that, or is, you know, I think in the healing, there's also clarity and an opportunity to have, you know, a discussion. But it's a discussion on your terms. It's a discussion in the way you want to discuss it, because, you know, they're coming back, right? It's like the mysteries of sex and romance and connection, and getting into the nuances and the subtleties of what it means to be getting to know someone as they're getting to know you. And you can take it for whatever you want it for. And there doesn't have to be any limitations or any ideas around what it should be. I think for some of you out there, you're really going to resonate with this idea that in whatever pause there might have been, you've worked on yourself, you've done personal growth work, you've had some other experiences maybe with some other people, and it's like you're coming at this from a very whole place. So you can really be very discerning and decide, you know, but you can have fun while being discerning and making that choice, right? You can play in it. Okay, what else wants to come out? Well, because somebody was definitely, you know, holding their cards close to their chest. Somebody was, you know, holding on to their heart. It could have been both of you. It could have been you. It could have been them. It could have been both of you to some degree. You know, there's always, you know, I call it the evidence, you know, of past relationships and what didn't work out. And someone feeling very, very burdened around responsibilities. And also, I feel like it's you, the watcher, that it's those clear and fluid boundaries, you know, that you have certain boundaries, and really beginning to appreciate your own boundaries around what you need, what your standards are, around what's going to make you feel safe to be, you know, vulnerable. Like in that, but to be vulnerable is that juicy space where you feel like you could. It's like you're so your authentic self with someone, and you just want to be able to be that. And it's, you know, it's that emotional intimacy that when you can respect your own boundaries, right? And then somebody else's can also feel more tolerable, you know, a little bit more understanding around it when you really respect your own and have like, you know, I in order to be physically intimate, I need this. And, you know, with that person, I was okay doing that or this or having this kind of relationship, but it's different from person to person to person. And I feel like this is someone that, you really, that's coming through, that it's like you really want to be like, no, this is how I feel about you and about this relationship, and I want this kind of relationship with you, and I don't want that, and I want to get to know you more, and I want you to get to know me more, and I want there to be, no expectation around what that has to be, but also it's sort of like that quote from Four Weddings and a Funeral, where she says, you don't have to go into every relationship thinking that you're going to get married, but you don't have to go into meeting every person thinking I won't get married. So it's not like, and it doesn't have to be about marriage, but it's like you don't have to, meet someone and start dating them and getting to know them thinking, this person must be my person, or they must be called my boyfriend or girlfriend, or they must be this. But you don't want to think, well, they mustn't be that either. And it could be, someone's keeping, their cards close to their breast because, it's this space in relationship where we don't really know in the beginning. Even if we've been on dates with people, or we've been in some kind of relationship with them before, again, people always change, especially when we've had time apart. So with Temperance, there's been how do I balance my life? How do I balance my personal and professional life? How do I balance, my personal life versus family life versus, work life? I mean, this is for those of us that, we're of a certain age, where we're dating people that have been divorced. They have children, they have these other responsibilities, caring for elderly parents. It's how, it's like someone didn't have space for their own emotions and what they were feeling about you emotionally. Right? And so, but what it kicked you into and them into, it was a evaluation stage of life. Okay, well, what do I want? Sometimes these experiences that can be very overwhelming and full of passion and a lot of chemistry, if it doesn't quite end up the way we want at the timing that we want it, we can use that experience to, begin to decide how we want to create what we're looking for, what we want next, or, what are the important things to me, or, I really want that kind of chemistry, that kind of physical chemistry, that kind of like zhuzh, that kind of, but I really need more consistency from a person, and so it's like you don't have to give something up or compromise per se. It's about, it doesn't have to be about that or that. It could be, I want this and that, and finding that person that has those things for you. Because we talk about compromise a lot, and compromising is so important, and that's a huge part of relationship, to be able to compromise. But we don't want to forget that there are certain basic fundamentals that we each need from partnership. And it's important to be truthful with ourselves around what those things are, and also to listen to what other people are saying, to really listen to what they're saying and see their actions. Because, it might feel a certain way when you're together, but if they're not saying or doing, certain things, that's telling you a story of where they are right now, regardless of what they may want at another time. Someone's got, they may want it at another time. We're not going to worry about that other time. We're going to worry about the present, and we're going to be working the magic of our own personal life. Because it's about whether they come back or not, you're good. You're cool. Them just coming back is just sort of this intriguing, kind of exhilarating, kind of like curiosity that we get to kind of, again, play with and see how we feel about it. And I mean, this also feels like, God, look at me. You know what I mean? It's like appreciating yourself, and knowing that there's a certain appreciation of you coming towards this person as you're sussing out exactly what their needs are, or what it is exactly they're looking for. And I think it's okay to not know everything. To know, yes, I'm looking for life partnership, but also to begin to see that there are markers on the path to it. And we don't want to let up an opportunity that could be fun, that could be a great experience, because we're so focused on, just getting this one thing, It doesn't have to be this or that. It can be both. And you never really know, if you just let something kind of just be, what could come of it later. This isn't like, wait around for your ex or wait around. No, I mean, if you're coming onto this video, you probably, there's been some kind of a calling back, and and you'll know what that is. And it could be as obvious as a text or a call, or it could be something else, and you'll know it. And if you're like, ugh, another video about my ex that I hate, well, click off, because that's, you shouldn't, that's how you feel, you shouldn't get with them anyway. And no tarot card reading is, is going to help with that, except just piss you off, right? But if it's fun, if you get butterflies over it, then that's the juice. That's you like, yeah, I think, they're coming. It's exciting to me that they're coming back. It doesn't have to throw yourself at them. You kind of like, because it's been a long road. It's been a long life. It's been a long year. I mean, the video is timeless, but it's like the very beginning of January 2025. So, it's like, this is like coming home to the self, right? If you think about this home as the home within, and everything that you've ever collected, and all your experiences and everything you've been through, and the challenges and traumatic experiences and the letdowns. And it's like, those are all valid parts of you. It's part of why you're the strong, resilient person that you are right now, the wise person, the person who's clear and understanding about who and what they want. That isn't willing to give up your high standards, and is at a place where you're like, maybe I can be curious and play and be like, yeah, I'm friggin' worth it. Of course I am. Of course this person is intrigued. Of course, and there's a certain amount of reevaluation and holding back and stuck energy and wanting to protect the heart. And there could be some kind of a healing that has taken place on their end. I mean, absolutely on your end here, but there could be some sort of thing that has gone on in their life, and there may be a time to come together for whatever amount of time that is. Could be for a couple of dates, could be for the rest of your lives, where it's just really healing to have this intimate experience on an emotional and physical level, and to give that to yourself. Because it's passionate, because it feels good, because it's what you want. Maybe it's what they want too, and that's fine. And that's good, but most of all, it's because it's what you want. And there's been transformation. There's been transformation within yourself. If you're here and the person's a good person, then whether they were meant to be your person at a specific time or not, whether they tick all your boxes or not, but they are if you can have transformation in your life, they can have transformation in their life. And there could be this space of healing, where in the calling back of things, there could be a way to passionately, in a way that's very consistent and gratifying, to come together and have this calling back become transformational. And it will be transformational regardless of what happens, because you're going to find out some information, and it's going to show you something about yourself and your own personal growth that's going to be really gratifying and really validating to you. But don't deny yourself an opportunity to try something a little bit new, where you allow yourself to be in the ecstatic growth of sensuality in partnership, and to see where it goes. And that's it. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate you. I hope that you will give me a thumbs up. It would mean the world to me. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far. We are over 150, which is what I wanted to get by January 1st, and I made it. So if you are liking these videos, if you are curious, if you want to spend a little bit more time here with me, I hope that you will join the community. I would love to connect with you more. I do the general energies on Monday. We do career path stuff on Wednesday. We do a general intimacy and love on Friday. There are meditations on here as well that I have created to help you. And that is it. Again, many thanks, and I hope you come back often. Bye.